how was your week? Please switch on the microphone. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry. My week was good, but it was hard at the same time. But I used to it.
Okay.
I have used to it.
Okay, we'll talk about this in a moment. So, is it like always hard? Is it always difficult?
Yes, because
Too busy every week?
yes.
And what did you enjoy the most? What did you enjoy the most?
This week or
This week? Well, from Thursday to Thursday, this period.
Last weekends, I went to my parents, to my village, and I met with my grandmother. We made pies. They were so delicious, and also I with my children went to the river. The ice was perfect. My son skated. Yeah, is that correct?
Yeah.
And I with another younger son, we cleaned the ice on the river because we had not коньки, я не помню как, skates. Yes, skates.
Okay, so you had some fun outside, yeah?
Yes, the weather was perfect. It was too warm on the street, and the nature was beautiful.
Did you take pictures?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And we made a video.
All right, great. Well, when we talk about things we like or things we enjoy, did you enjoy or do you enjoy? And if we use an adjective, how do we put it? Was it
enjoyable?
Enjoyable. Was the activity or was the event enjoyable? Yeah, did you enjoy it? Good. Right. And one more thing. Look at the words in the chat. And well, used to, and I'm, or like get used to. So what is the difference in meaning?
Used to is about past habits.
Yeah. When I was younger, I used to do something.
Yes.
And how do we say я привыкла к этому?
I'm getting used to.
I'm getting used to. I'm trying.
Yes.
But maybe it's working.
Is
maybe
this
it's
about
not.
Present?
Yes,
I'm getting used to. Is it
I'm getting you. It's about the process. I'm trying to get used to. А я привыкла.
I'm being. Oh.
I used to.
Okay. Think about this. What is the difference between be and get?
Be is in the process, and get is completed action.
Completed action, and get is you trying to.
Okay. So when we say about something that has changed, this is more about the result. And well, be is about a state. Look at this. I got used to getting up early. Like, now it's okay with me. We use the past because the situation has changed. And then with after to here, we use ing. It's not an infinitive. Я привыкла сейчас по много работать. How do we say this?
I'm getting used to work.
I got used to. Вот I'm okay now. I got used to working hard every week. Мгм. Я привыкла готовить там помогу всей семье.
I
Ага.
got to cook.
I
got
got
I got
used
used
to
to cook for the
see,
family.
look at this, getting up early to
To
in a
cooking.
lot. So
Mhm.
to is not infinitive here, it's a preposition.
Mhm.
Got used to doing something. In the past habit, I used to do something, but here I'm used to doing something, or I got used to
Got used.
to doing something. Okay. So ladies, did you have time to talk a little bit together?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you talk about habits?
We talk about 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
From
When you try a new thing, and then if you keep it, it becomes a habit, right?
Yes, right.
So can you give me examples of good habits, useful habits? Some things are not practical, some things are practical. Think about practical things.
Good habit, for example, to do sports every day in the morning.
Yeah, exercises in the morning. Any other good habits?
As for me, another good habit is to get up early.
Okay. Well, think about learning languages. What would be a good habit if we talk about learning languages?
To revise every day grammar and vocabulary.
The words, yeah, to recycle the words, revise. Yeah, true. So,
or maybe to get into the language atmosphere, to watch films or to sing, listen to the songs.
Okay. Right. So is it easy to develop a habit?
Sometimes it's so hard.
Very difficult. Can be very difficult. Why?
Because people sometimes can be lazy, can't enough free time to do.
Because it's so difficult to change our habits. There is an idiom that the habits is our second nature.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is it difficult to get rid, to stop having bad habits, get rid of bad habits?
I think so.
Are there any?
I haven't any really bad habits like smoking or, for example, drinking alcohol, but I see that some of my relatives or maybe friends who are smoking, it's really hard to read out or read off. Read something.
Read of
Get rid
something. Just a sec. Look at this. Get rid of.
Get rid.
Stop
it's
having.
Really hard
to get rid of.
To get rid of smoking, for example.
Yeah. Well, are there any habits that you want to develop, Inga? Something that you want to have, but you don't?
But I don't do it.
Yeah, something that you want to have, to improve about yourself, to develop in you. Any habits you want to develop?
So I want to read books, but sometimes I don't have enough time. But I dream to read every day about 15 or 20 minutes because I think
it's really helpful. Yeah, agree. Oля, any habits that you want to develop in you?
Yes, I have one. I have the piano at home, but recent time I play on this piano so rarely, and I really want to do what did you say to
Im,
not to improve, but to the
develop. Yeah.
develop, yeah, to develop
Develop habits.
to develop my habits and to improve it. And I admire the musicians who can play amazing musical musical compositions.
Positions,
And
pieces.
uh,
You can use the word piece.
mhm,
You remember the word piece, the part?
mhm.
It's a nice musical piece, like you know,
Some
a
music.
composition.
And when I sit next to my piano and I try to play something, it seems to me really hard to do it, and I don't I can't imagine how many hours a day the musicians
Practice.
practice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you used to go to music school?
Yes, at school. At school, at my childhood, I attended and I have graduated it, but it was a long time ago.
Okay. Well, sounds like a very challenging project to practice music every day because it's a lot of practice. Yeah. So, well, how do we say играть на инструменте?
Play the piano,
Play the
music.
piano, play the guitar or the drums. Закончить школу, например.
Or finished or have
We
finished.
finish schools. And what do we do with universities?
Have graduated.
And then graduate.
Graduate from the university.
Yeah, from the university. So if we use the word graduate, we graduate from university. Right. So we move on, and I want you to go to page 12 in the books. Page 12 in the books. So here on page 12, we have some ideas from the sentences, from the story, from the previous lesson. So look at the phrases on top. When you give up, what do you do?
Stop doing.
Yes, exactly. So when you want to have a goal, what do you want to do?
Continue. Have a go.
Have a go at something means like try. You want to have a goal.
Start. To
Yes.
start, yeah?
Yes, to try, to start. Well, what about this keep it up? What do you think keep it up is?
For example, if the 30-day challenge is finished, you keep doing something for more time, for a long time.
Yeah, you can keep to it or you can keep it up. You can continue, right?
Are these synonyms?
Yes,
keep to and keep it up.
Okay, so I want you to look at the sentences below and complete the sentences with the words from the top. Take a minute to read through and put the words in the right gaps. Let me know when we are ready.
Mhm. I'm ready.
Inga, what about you?
Yes.
Okay, so have a quick listen and check what we have, if everything is correct, okay?
Track 1.11. 1.
Often, if we try something new, we give up after about a week or two because our brain hasn't adapted.
2. So if you manage to do something new for a month, you'll probably keep to it. 3.
Maybe you wouldn't want to keep it up for your whole life, but it might be fun to do it just for 30 days.
4.
If you're successful, it's great, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter too much.
5. It's not just about giving up bad habits. The idea is really that you try out something new. 6.
Or you can take time out and have a go at something you've always wanted to do.
7.
Obviously, to do something like that, you need to make an effort.
8. They're all about halfway through, and they've done it successfully so far.
Okay, is everything correct? Do we agree on everything?
I have made 2 mistakes.
Me too.
So which situations were a bit tricky?
It's sentence number 2 and 3. I was confused, and I chose so if you keep it up.
Look, think about this
should
grammar.
choose.
Keep it up. The keep it up. There should be some activity, yeah, and then keep it up, and then in your idea. And here we have this do, right? Another verb, which is not good. And any other tricky ones?
3 and 6 sentence.
3.
3 and 6.
Okay. Again, so if you want to, and there should be a phrase, the complete, and here, what was it? Maybe you wouldn't want to.
I chose to manage to, but it wasn't correct.
Okay, think about this manage to. What goes after to? Think about what goes after.
Verb.
A verb, infinitive. So if you want to manage to do something.
Do something, yeah.
Yeah, and what about manage? Manage, is it easy or difficult? When you manage to do something, do you find it easy?
No, I think it's difficult.
It's not easy.
You need to make an effort.
Yes, exactly.
You need to
So
do something.
think about the context. After give up, what do we have after give up? Give up, ing, give up smoking, give up drinking. After manage to, we need
to use the verb, yeah?
Infinitive, yes? Infinitive. So, so what about keep to? Keep to something. We need a thing. Keep to it.
Yeah, we need to
We need
use
a
noun.
thing. Well, look at this workout. What goes after?
It doesn't work out.
Nothing.
It doesn't matter to.
There is nothing. Yeah.
It's the end of first part of sentence.
Yeah. It's usually, if it doesn't work out, well, try another thing. So think about the context. And so try to feel a little bit more confident with grammar, and it will help. So let's have a quick look here. So some phrases are synonyms. Well, what is the synonym for succeed? The noun is
success.
Success, and the verb is to succeed. But succeed is more formal. We usually don't say it. It's more formal. What is spoken? Look in exercise A. What is the synonym to succeed? When you manage to do something, do you succeed? It's difficult, but yes, you succeed. Anything else? There is one more.
Succeed, manage to, and look at workout, look at for. If you're successful, it's great, but if it doesn't work out, doesn't matter. If it works out, it's great, but if it doesn't, it's okay. So work out is the synonym for a positive result, being successful. So take a moment, look at stop trying, not stop trying, try hard, try to see if it works. So from exercise A, all the phrases are from exercise A. We need to find synonyms.
Yes, these are like similar meanings. Okay. So number 2, stop trying. What would it be?
Give up?
Yes. Not stop trying.
Keep it up, maybe.
Keep it up, or
Have a go at maybe.
well, use have a go. It's like the first time. And keep it up or keep to it. It's not stop trying. Keep it up or keep to it. So, what about try hard?
Make an effort.
Yes, make an effort. And try to see if it works.
It works.
Maybe several times, maybe once.
Have a go at,
Yes, and
try out.
yes, absolutely. Try it out or have a go at. So, is the meaning clear?
Try to see it works. If it works, have a go. Yes.
The meaning is clear. Like, think about accuracy. Think about grammatical forms. I am going to show you some situations, and I want you to find the problem zones. Well, with all of them are connected with these words. So, look at the situation in 1. There is something which is missing. Think about structure. It's easy, blah, blah, blah. Number 1, where is the problem? What is missing?
To give up smoking.
To give up smoking if your motivation is to save money. So look at number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You need to add something because there is a problem with the structure. Okay. So what about number 2?
Maybe I keep it up.
If you go on a diet, it's almost difficult to keep it up. Yes. Number 3, Oля, have a look at number 3.
Everyone should have
Look at B. Look at B. What do you have in B? Have a
Go at.
Have a go.
Making their own bread. It's one of
yeah, have a go at, like try making your bread. So now look at number 4. Where is the mistake?
If you make a real effort.
Okay. Now take a moment, look at 5.
If you manage to listen to some English every day.
If you manage to listen. Inga, number 6. Look at number 6.
When you are going to buy lunch in town like bike, you should always
buying a large item, yeah, like a car. So when you give it a test drive, what do you do?
Try out.
You should always, the problem is here, right?
Always
test it. How do we say in other words? You have to
walk out. You should always
no, try it out.
Try it
out. The car or the bike. Look at 7.
Work out. If you start a new job and it does not work out, it's really your own fault.
You remember what fault is?
Mistake.
Opposite to success.
Yeah, like the failure, the fault, the problem, the mistake. Yeah. Okay, and the last one.
And keep to it.
Keep to it. Yes, absolutely. So some phrases are well known. Yes, if we look back at page 12. So which phrases do you usually use? Think about your language. Which phrases do you use from exercise A and B? Which do you usually use?
I
You know
usually
them.
I usually use keep to, give up.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
use-
Oля, what about you?
Keep to, sometimes try out.
Okay. So please focus on 4 phrases that you want to use more often. Those that you understand, but you don't use them very often. You want to use them more often. Don't focus on all of them. Focus on 4. And now keep them in mind, or you may highlight them in the book, like manage to, or maybe work out, or make an effort. I don't know. So, and I want you to think about something difficult, but you didn't give it up. Or think about you making a real effort. Or maybe trying out something unusual. I want you to think about one of your situations in life, maybe you, maybe your families, maybe your friends, and try to use the phrases from A and B in your story. Something that was successful, or maybe something that didn't work out successfully and was unsuccessful. It could be about anything, like cooking, hobbies. Think of one situation. Maybe it's about you, maybe it's about somebody you know.
So my son started to do sports at wrestling, and sometimes he wants to give up, but we try to make an effort keep doing this. And after that, after a long time, after some months, it's difficult to come again to do sports, but he keeps it up, and it works out successfully for him.
Okay, good, good. So, Oля, what about you?
For a long time, it was really hard and difficult for me to drive the car. I was really afraid of the driving, and I really wanted to give up and to work on food. And but then I have made an effort and nowadays I have to say that it really works out. I can drive the car, and I
So you can say that works out successfully for me. Yeah,
it works out successfully for me.
Okay, good. Right. So at home, I'll ask you to think about another situation and discuss it with the study buddy. But one more thing, look at this word. It's about both of you. How do we say it? Make an
effort.
Effort, not the first syllable is stressed. Make an effort. Or you can say, вот он действительно прикладывал усилия. Inga, can you say about your son? Он действительно прикладывал усилия.
He really had a good day.
He with this.
He really he made a real effort.
He made a real effort. So it was hard, it was difficult, but he made a real effort. Yeah, that this one. И это сработало. How do you say? Think about grammar. И это сработало.
And it worked out.
Ага, but if it's result in present, и вот я начала водить, у Ольги то же самое было контекст. Which grammatical form is better?
Has worked out.
Yes, it has worked out. And now I can drive. And now he's good at wrestling. All right. And one more thing. Think about the phrase start to do sports and start doing sports. Which one is more natural?
Start doing.
Start doing.
Yes. Yeah. So if you look at modern dictionaries, contemporary dictionaries, in English, this start, begin, love, to do or doing, both are grammatically okay, but ing is more common now. Start reading, start doing, start wrestling. Okay, so we move on. And here we have 3 people with their challenges. Challenge number 1, challenge number 2, challenge number 3. So I want you to very quickly have a look at the stories. Do not pay attention to the gap. Forget about the gaps. Read the challenges through and tell me who finds it difficult and who finds it easy. So what the challenge is and who finds it difficult and who finds it easy. So 1 minute, very quickly. Okay. Farah, Mona, Steve, who finds it easy and who finds it difficult? What do you think?
Farah finds easy to.
And what is your
become
challenge?
vegetarian.
To be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Mona.
What about Mona?
Finds that to draw something is difficult to her.
Was difficult. And what about Steve?
And Steve, yeah, he
finds difficult.
finds difficult to.
So whose challenge is more difficult? What do you think? If it was you?
It's for me to maybe decided to learn another language.
Yes, I agree with Inga.
You remember Steve said that he is going to learn another language every month. Is it a good idea? You are language teachers. What do you think? Is it a good idea?
I think that every month is too often to learn one more new language.
Yeah. Can you learn much within a month?
No, of course
No,
no.
just some words and phrases, not much.
Mhm.
Okay. So here we have 5 gaps, and in C we have 5 questions. Take a more time and match the answers with the questions. Take a little bit more time. Okay. Ready? Okay. So what about Farah? So what was your first question, Ola?
I chose B.
Didn't you
ever think of being vegetarian before?
Okay. So agrees. Inga, do you agree?
Yes.
So, well, what about number 2, Inga? What do we have here?
And how do you feel? Are you finding it difficult to see?
Agree.
Okay. And you, have you ever tried being a vegetarian? Do you think it's easy?
Maybe I try
In the future or in the past? Maybe
in the future.
I'll try it, you think. Why, Inga? Why do you think it's a good idea?
Because I like different diets, and in the past I set on a diet, and it's a 30 days challenge, and it really helps me. And I keep to doing.
Быть на диете. So how do we put that? We go on a diet or we are on a diet, yeah? In Russian we садимся на диету. In English we go on a diet. So I think it's very healthy. I don't know if it's easy, but it sounds very healthy.
Yes, I agree.
Ola, number 3. What do you have for number 3?
Number 3. Question number.
Yes, question number 3. So which one?
1 second. What have you drawn pictures of so far?
What have you drawn pictures of so far? Agrees?
Yes.
Everybody? Inga? Well, and this so far, what is meant by so far?
Recently.
Yeah, like by now. Yeah, by now. Already. Well, number 4, Inga, what do we have here?
And who do you practice with, or are you just working alone?
About a partner. And the last one, Ola.
Agree.
The last one, please.
And do you think you'll carry on after the 30 days?
Okay. Yeah. So look at this word that we use here in the question. And do you think you'll carry on after the 30 days? So what is the synonym for this?
Keep to, maybe.
Keep to,
Yes,
yeah.
like continue. Yeah.
Mhm.
And look, Farah says the same here. I might to carry on longer. I might continue. This is another synonym.
Try carry on.
Yeah, carry. So, and well, one more thing that about the language. So look at this one. Mona has like a question. So, do you feel it has been worthwhile? When something is worthwhile, so how do we put it? Can you paraphrase it? Can you think of a good way to say it?
Do you feel it has been?
Maybe difficult.
Well, oh yes, definitely. I still not very good at drawing, but it's been a lot of fun. Well, we have this phrase in English, be worth doing something. For example, there is a good film at the cinema, and when you ask your friend who was at the cinema yesterday, is it worth going?
For example, that maybe.
Is it costs?
No, is it
something?
worth, look at the chat, is it worth going? Is it worth doing? Well, you went to the cinema. Is it worth going? Is it a good?
Was the film good? Do you recommend me to go?
Yeah, worth doing. Like, is it a good idea? Oh, you have to read the book. It's worth reading. Or you have to see the film. It's worth watching. Well, is it like a good idea doing something? And look at this word. Do you feel it has been worthwhile? Like it was a good idea. So you can say worth doing, or something is worthwhile, like worth trying, a good idea to try. And so she says yes, and then comments that she's not good, but it was relaxing. And here there is another synonym, keep going with it. Like here we have keep to eat, keep it up, or keep going with it, keep trying. So another synonym here, right? Okay. Well, let's think a little bit about the questions that we ask our learners and we work with when we read interviews or interview other people. When we teach our learners, there are special questions and yes-no questions. Which questions are yes-no questions? If we look at the example. Inga,
General questions.
Yeah, general questions, like yes-no questions. Which are?
And do you think you'll carry on after 30 days, for example?
Yes.
But didn't you ever think of it?
Look at this. So, do you think you will carry on after 30 days? Like a yes or no question. But when we sometimes use didn't or doesn't or don't in a question, what is the idea? Why we don't ask, did you ever think? But didn't you ever think of being a vegetarian? What is the difference in meaning?
Maybe the question started from didn't or don't, response the more full answer.
Well,
I think
To
maybe
explain the reasoning.
I think it made a question to make sure
Yeah,
that people don't.
Clarify, maybe.
maybe sometimes, like, but when you say, for example, you cooked chicken yesterday and your husband ate all the chicken. And in the morning he asks, where is the chicken? What do you ask?
Didn't you eat it last evening?
Didn't you eat it last evening? Like, surprise. Why do you ask? You ate it yesterday. So here it's when we use this didn't, it's more like about a surprise. Like compare. Here we have two more questions. Did you see her at the party? Didn't you see her at the party? Which one is a natural question?
Did you see?
Did you see? If it's like surprise,
Didn't you see?
didn't you see? It sounds natural, but it's more like understandable that you did it, and it's kind of a surprise, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, sometimes in questions we ask what, and sometimes we ask which. For example, you teach your learners colors, and you can say, what color do you
What
like?
color?
Or which color do you like? Or look at this. What have you drawn pictures of so far? When do we ask what and when do we ask which?
Hard question.
Yes, I either can't explain the difference.
So, look at me. So what do I have?
Two
Pencils?
Markers, yeah, two pencils. I show you two colors and I say, which color do you like more? The choice is limited to two. And when the choice is limited, you say which. Which role is more interesting? When the choice is less limited, you usually ask
what?
What? Both are correct, but when the choice is limited, you prefer which. Okay? Well, you remember Steve. Who does he practice with? You remember his facts?
With the owner of the Italian restaurant, which is on the corner of the street.
Okay. Well, and if we think about like the sentence, so I am friends with the owner, so I go and chat to him. So I is a subject, right? And him is an object. Yes. So when we ask the question about the subject, so what do we do? How do we ask?
Who chatted with you, for example?
Who chats
Who chats with you?
Chats with their owner.
Well, you can say with or to because it's the message. Who chats to him or who chats to the owner? But if you ask about the owner,
who am I chatting with?
Okay, look at A. Look at A.
And who do you practice with?
Who do you practice with? So, well, both questions are with who, right? But when we ask about an object, what do we have at the back of the question, at the end of the question?
With.
With, or. And where do learners make mistakes, usually?
Who do
Who
you
with
with
the-
practice? Who with,
Yeah,
yeah.
usually the
Because it's-
preposition is at
Mhm.
the end of the question. Who chatted with the owner? Who do you practice with if you ask about
Objective.
the object? Yeah. And
Mhm.
this is what we have to teach because Russian people will make mistakes here. Yeah, they
Mhm.
will put the preposition somewhere here.
In the center of the sentence.
Yeah, schemes sounds natural in Russian, so people copy this structure in English, right?
Mhm.
Well, and look at D. Look at D. Well, and do you think you'll carry on after the 30 days? So where is the question part?
Do you think and do you think?
The question part is, do you think? But this is about opinion, right? And if we have this, you'll carry on, what happens when we introduce a question with a certain phrase? Do you think what happens? With the word order.
Порядок слов, direct order.
Yeah, the direct word order. We change the word order. Do you think? And then where do students usually make mistakes? Will you carry on?
Will you carry?
And if we introduce it with a phrase, do you think you will? We change the order. Yeah. Any other phrases like do you think?
Can you tell me, please?
Can you tell me, please? Yeah.
What's in your opinion?
What is your opinion? What do you think? Or sometimes we say, I wonder. Yeah. Like when we introduce a question with any phrase, our opinion, we change the word order. And here we usually make mistakes, right? So what I want you to do now, I want you to look at my classroom language examples. Well, just a second, I'll find the necessary slide. Okay, here. Okay, here it is. So in the classroom, we sometimes use something like this. Can you make these questions indirect?
I wonder, have you finished the task, for example?
I wonder.
You've finished the task?
And what very often comes after this I wonder to sound better? So what do we have this? If it's yes, no question, we have this.
If.
If, yeah. I wonder if
you have.
You have finished the task.
If you have finished the task. So what about number one? I'm not sure, or
I'm not, or I don't know.
What?
What page?
What page?
We on. We
are on.
We are on.
You remember instruction checking questions. So who can tell me what page we are
on?
We are on. Yeah, if you introduce the question with some phrase, so talk to the group. What page we are on? This would be grammatically correct way of saying. So again, ICQ. Who can tell me? Or I wonder. I'm not sure. I don't know. Who can help me? So what about number two? Oля?
I don't know what we are doing.
What we are doing. And here we change the word order. Yeah, sometimes we make these mistakes in the classroom. And Inga, look at You remember the phrase leave off? What is the meaning?
Stop.
Yeah, it's like stop. In the previous lesson.
The previous lesson. Mhm.
Yeah, in the previous lesson, you stopped somewhere and you asked your students to open the stage.
I wonder where we
Left off.
left off.
Where we change this, make it left
Left off.
off instead of this did. We left off. And number 5, Oля?
I'm not sure what the Russian keep it up. What the Russian keep it up is.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the Russian keep it up is.
Or what is the Russian for keep it up, or what is the Russian what the Russian keep it up with? Yes. So does it make sense? Okay. So when you introduce questions in class with some phrases, it's a good idea to control your word order. So if it's indirect, well, then really change the word order. Well, look at the sentence. I work with the study buddy. So how do you ask about the subject?
Who works?
Who works with a study buddy? And how do you ask about the object, Ola?
Object.
I work with a study buddy.
Who do you work with?
Okay. Who do you work with? So if the question is about the subject, but it's not about a person, it's about an event or a thing, what do we do? So for example, well, the drawing was a duck. Well, when we talk about things, about people we ask who, and about things we
what.
If we talk about events, how do we usually ask? So look at the example. What happened? Yeah, but very often if you ask about events in the story, what happened? And
What
how do
happened?
we put in English? Что с ним случилось?
What was happened to him?
What
No?
happened? No, look at this. What happened? Что с ним случилось? If we need a person here. How do we put that in English? Your students read a story. What happened?
To him or with him?
To him. In English, we say happen to
him.
Yeah? So Russian people make mistakes here. So what happened to him? Not with. Okay. So what happened to him? Not was. So this is past simple and this is active. Something happened and what happened? Okay. So I want you to think of a funny challenge. Each of you think of a funny challenge. Write a poem. Get up at dawn. Do you remember what dawn is?
Get up at dawn. I don't remember.
When the sun rises, it's dawn. So in summer, the sun rises at 6, yeah, or at 5. But now it rises at
9.
Okay, 8:30 or something. Yeah, like later than 8, definitely, nearly at 9. Okay, go running. Like, I want you to think of a challenge and your partner will ask some questions about a challenge. Think of a challenge for January. Something maybe funny, maybe realistic. So you need to think about details of the challenge and think about reasons. And in English, we say reasons for doing a challenge. Everybody, please think about one challenge that could be interesting to try out. And then your partner will interview you and ask some questions. So take a moment to plan your challenge. If you have two, that's great, but think at least of one. I'm afraid we won't have time for three, but one or two challenges.
We need to make a plan. Do we need to make a plan?
We need ideas to discuss, yeah. And then your partner will interview you, will ask you some questions.
And ask questions.
But it's difficult to, okay, can you name the challenge? So it will, people think about the questions.
Let's choose a challenge from this.
Yeah, you need different challenges. Maybe something new. Get up at dawn is not fun. Maybe, I know that Olga goes running. It's not a challenge for her.
It's really a challenge.
Go running every day. In bad weather, yes, it is.
No, I go running twice a week, at least.
But this is your habit, right? It's not a challenge. Okay, because when challenge is about something new.
Something I understood.
Yeah, something new.
My challenge for Inga is to write a poem every day. I know that this activity is new for her. Yes?
Okay.
Don't you, Inga?
Oh, I agree.
Okay, now you have a challenge that you think is a good idea to try out, and announce your challenges so people can think of the questions to ask. So, Inga, what is going to be your challenge?
То есть мы должны выбрать каждый сам себе или разработать это в паре?
Yes, you choose your own, and then people will, Oля will ask you about your challenge.
Oh.
And then Oля will announce the challenge, and you will ask her. So which challenges have you chosen?
I need to choose the challenge to Inga or to myself?
For yourself. You choose for yourself. Inga will ask you questions.
Okay, it will be the same. To write a short poems.
A short poem. Well, and Inga, what is your challenge? You can choose any.
Your idea.
Your idea. Maybe not here. Maybe not on the page. Maybe something.
Draw every day.
Draw every day. Okay. Now think of good questions that you can ask. You can use some ideas in C, or you can change and try to ask different questions. So with general questions, special questions, questions of opinion. I want you to have at least 3 questions. Okay. 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 So let's see what we have. Ready?
Yes.
So one is going to interview another. So you will have to ask minimum 3 questions, but better more. And if you don't know what to say, invent. It's okay if some things are not true. Don't worry, invent. Okay. So, Inga, please ask Olga, interview Olga about writing a poem every day. Okay.
Olga, why did you decide to write a short poem every day?
Because I have a lot to say to this world. And at my childhood, I was a great poet.
Okay.
Are you planning to write about love, or are you writing something new?
I'm planning to write about nature and animals. I think that I can't compete with our greatest Russian poet, Alexander Sergeyevich. So he has said a lot about love, and I will take my my place.
So, don't you feel it has been enjoyable for you?
Yes. Как правильно отвечать? Don't you feel? Yes.
Inga, think about the question. Don't you think? So she's
feel?
going to write a poem or every day. So is it about the past or the future?
Don't you feel it has been enjoyable?
If it has been, it's about the past.
It will be.
Will be. Don't you think it will be enjoyable? Don't you think it? Don't you
I'm
think
sure.
it is going to be enjoyable, or it will be enjoyable?
I'm sure it will be very enjoyable. Or because it's some kind of competition and to work to my brain when to need to rhyme different words but you need to put some sense into the poem.
Mm-hmm. So, and do you think you'll carry on to write down every day after 30 days challenge?
Think about the grammar.
Yes, of course.
Mhm.
Yes,
Do you
I'm
think
sure
you-
I'll carry on after the 30 days of my challenging, because I want to become a great writer. And I'm planning to sell my books in Amazon.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, thank you very much. All right, good. So we will be the first to buy your books.
Okay, deal.
So now, well, Olga, interview Inga, please.
Yes, Inga, I know that you decided to paint pictures. Why did you decide to try out drawing every day?
Mm-hmm. Well, I choose this challenge because I hate drawing, and I try out to do this, and maybe I like it.
And are you going to draw pictures individually?
No, I think I'm drawing something simple. For example, maybe animals, maybe flowers, maybe nature.
So individually, or who are you planning to draw with?
Oh,
With
no,
some
no,
partners?
individually, because I am afraid of to show my pictures to others.
And which style of painting do you prefer to try out? Portraits, nature?
Will you repeat, please, your question?
Which style of painting do you prefer to try out? Portraits, nature, animals, what else? Which style?
As for me, I prefer to draw black-white, maybe black-white pictures, for example, by pencil, and maybe there are portraits, maybe there are animals or something interesting.
And who's your favorite artist?
My favorite artist is, for me, I don't like to draw, but I like portraits. The Cone Forest by Shishkin.
Okay, and do you think that you'll carry on this activity after the 30 days?
So if it is enjoyable to see these pictures for me, maybe I keep it up, this challenge.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies. Let's focus a little bit on the language. Ты думаешь, for both of you, ты думаешь, ты продолжишь заниматься этим? Think about the grammar here. Do you think?
To carry on?
So you're asking about the future. If you ask about the plans, how do you put it? Do you think you
will
carry on? It's just about the future. But if it's, do you think you are going to carry on? Yeah. So you ask about either plans or just okay. Я ненавижу рисовать, поэтому вот выбрала этот челлендж. How do you say? Can you say that again?
I hate drawing, but I choose this.
It's your decision. It's your result. That's why I think about grammar. I hate drawing. That's why
That's why I choose.
I chose, or I have
chosen.
chosen. I have chosen this activity. Окей. Я думаю, я буду рисовать там, ну, разных там животных и так далее. I think.
As for me, I prefer black and white, for example, by pencil.
Я буду рисовать. Я буду рисовать разных там.
I will draw.
I will draw. I think I will draw. So future sounds better here. I'll draw different pictures, black and white pictures. Well, Oля, this are you going to draw individually? It sounds a bit unclear. How can you say that in a different way? Are you going to draw
alone
or who are you going to draw with? Because this individual is like sounds like a group thing. Я продам книжку на Амазоне.
I will sell.
I'll sell the book.
The book at the Amazon.
You remember
marketplace.
This? In English, we say online, on the internet, on Amazon, on Telegram, on Instagram. So it's in the group, but online, on the internet, on Amazon. Вот Пушкин сказал много о любви, я скажу о чем-нибудь другом. Okay. Say that. Think about grammar. The question is about grammar.
Pushkin had. We can use past perfect or present perfect.
Can we use present perfect? We can use present perfect about Boris Akunin because he's alive. He has said a lot about history. He might say something else because he's a living author. But we can't say this about Pushkin because he died some years ago. So you need past.
Past simple?
Simple.
Pushkin said a lot about love, lovers. So I will make a poem about something else.
Yeah, or I'll have to say my words, in something else. Okay, right. And so when you talk about drawing, so we can draw animals, we can draw portraits, and so you remember in your mobile phone, so if you take a picture like this is a portrait. If you take a picture like this, what is it?
Selfie.
Well, you change the position. I'm talking about the position. It could be like this or like this. You know the word. Look at the chat. Landscape. So if you draw wildlife,
nature, it's a landscape, yeah?
Wildlife is also good. Wildlife or landscape. This is like mountains, hills, trees, forests. So, well, Inga is going to draw landscapes like Shishkin's, things. Landscapes about things we draw. And if we, you remember the word still. So if you drink water, it could be with gas or it could be
still water.
Still with no gas. But what do you think still life is? Like vases with flowers or statues.
Naturemort in French.
In English it's very easy. This is still life. Yes,
still life. It's the style of artists.
Yeah, well, when you talk about different styles, they could be
art.
It could be
Mhm.
landscapes, it could be wildlife, it could be still life. So these are basic things that your students might ask you about. So this is not serious things, but like some basic things. Okay, well, at home, I'll ask you to practice a little bit of grammar with questions, and if you have time to discuss some things, I'll offer some questions for discussion, so you practice the phrasal verbs, like try out and things like that. And the home assignment isn't going to be big, because I know that at the end of the year, people are very busy. So I want you to get in touch, get connected, and discuss things to practice the words and a bit of grammar. We are going to meet next week, and then we will stop for a holiday break. On holidays, we won't have lessons. Okay,